The triple murder trial of Derek Saretzky is nearing an end. Both the prosecution and Crown made their closing arguments today in an Alberta court, in a case where Saretzky has already confessed to police. Still, the 24-year-old has pleaded not guilty to 3 charges of first-degree murder. It's in connection to the deaths of Hannah Mekatek, Terry Blanchette, and his daughter Haley Dunbar Blanchette back in September of 2015. Saretzky described all 3 killings in videotaped interviews with police, which were played for jurors during the trial. Well, the CBC's Sarah Larnouk has been covering this trial and joins us from outside the courthouse in Lethbridge. And Sarah, of course, so much of the evidence here has been so gruesome, but you've described the Crown prosecutor's handling of this entire trial as being graceful.
Yeah, definitely. The Crown prosecutor is Fotini Papadatu, and she has handled this case with a lot of grace, as much as can be expected in such an awful trial. It was especially highlighted today during her closing arguments. During the trial, we saw confession videos of Derek Saretzky detailing what he had done to the little girl after she was dead, and he said all of this to police. But today, in her closing arguments, the Crown prosecutor refused to repeat any of it, saying, "You've heard what he said he did, this is why you should believe it." And she was very conscious the whole time of the fact that the little girl's family, her grandparents, her aunt, her cousins, were all sitting directly behind her while she was doing this. And so that was today during the closing arguments. But throughout this trial, even with the witnesses, she's demonstrated that same grace. A lot of the witnesses have been either family of the accused or family of the victims. And in those particular circumstances, as difficult as they were, she only ever asked them as much as she needed to and kind of spared them going further. And she showed them the compassion that I think was really warranted in this particular case.
Now, Sarah, with Saretzky confessing on video, the jury's seen it, real challenge for the defense. And today, the defense lawyer really focused only on one of the 3 murders.
Yeah, so defense lawyer Patrick Edgerton decided to focus on the Hannah Mekatek homicide. And he outlined the differences between the confession to her murder as opposed to the confession to the other 2, detailing the fact that it was 6 months later versus at the time of the crimes. And in that confession, he got some of the facts wrong. Derek Saretzky, in talking with the police officers, got the number of blunt force trauma wounds wrong, for example. He also answered in a lot of one-word or one-phrase answers to leading questions from the investigator. They weren't his own words. And so basically his argument was that you can't be sure in this particular crime that he committed it.
And I guess the jury will hear from them soon enough. Sarah Larnouk in Lethbridge, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ian.